All right, we are on with Cody and we're doing wealth building training. And if any of this helps anybody else, we want to share it with you. So Cody, we're not going to give away a bunch of personal information on this one. If we end up doing that, let me know and I'll pause the recording.
Okay.
And we won't share things that we don't want to share with other people. But to catch everybody else up, you reached out to me and said, hey, I'm 18 years old and I want to retire young and rich. Is that pretty much it?
Pretty much the gist of it.
And that's what I'm interested in helping you do. I wish I had an old guy like me that would have helped me back, when I was your age, because I'd be on a yacht in Tahiti somewhere. So why don't you tell everybody what the things we first started off doing to help get ourselves organized and ready to build some wealth. You're working at the golf course.
Yes, so I'm working valet, which is kind of more part-time or not part-time, but it's more during the summer, obviously, which I make a little bit more during the summer, which kind of left me with a little bit of extra money. And that's why I came to you, so that I can do something with it instead of just leaving it somewhere or potentially putting it somewhere where I'll lose it.
Well, I want to say that you, by just doing that one thing, being able to, hustle and work, but then having the foresight to say, hey, look, I want to put a little bit away for my future, and at your young age, they call compounding interest the eighth wonder of the world. And you are learning a little bit about that. And we'll explain to the people a little bit later on what we did for you, but you're working, you're 18 years old, you're going to school, right?
So I just graduated high school, and then I kind of figured I'd take a little bit of time and work more and then figure out what I was going to do.
Which I like. And in our coaching sessions, we'll talk about whether, putting debt together for, college makes sense, whether a trade makes sense, whether, some online education makes sense, some certifications, that kind of thing. But while you're working, we need to work on, making sure we have a good foundation going forward to take advantage of your youth.
Yeah.
We also talked about maybe some real estate certification.
Yeah.
To get going with a real estate license. And, I guarantee you that we can get you a job for sure in the real estate space if we can get that license together. But you and I haven't reached that level of coaching yet.
Yeah.
So catch everybody else up. What was your first assignment from me?
My first assignment with you, let's see, it was setting up a Betterment account, and then figuring.
Did we get that done?
Yeah, so I got the Betterment account done. We haven't progressed anywhere with that one just yet, just because I've been doing stuff, you've been doing stuff, and then we were talking about getting my own personal credit card, because I kind of had not a joint one, but I had an older one from my parents. So we had talked about getting a joint or a credit card for myself.
And what are we going to do with that credit card?
Put it on gas and food and let it slowly build.
Pay it off every month.
Yep. Pay in full every time.
If a balance runs from 1 month to the next month and we pay interest on it, then what happens?
I mean,
Big Papa will come to your house.
Yeah, it's not good.
Even if I don't have anybody strong, if I'm not strong, I know a lot of big bikers that'll come with me. Don't you ever pay those credit card people any interest.
I already have my dad in favor.
Pay on the credit card with stuff that we're going to pay the very next month, and that's how that works.
Yeah.
Because we don't, we can't make 20% interest.
No.
And we give them a chance to get a piece of us. We don't like that. Mm-hmm. And the other thing that we don't like is fees.
Yeah.
Because if we, let's say we have 100 grand in a savings account, we're going to make about 64 cents a month off that. And if they charge us a fee of $5 or some of them $25, we're not going to get our fee back with the interest they pay us until we die. Even at your young age, one fee, it's crazy. So as you're going along, you want to make sure that when you set up your account, and that's the other thing we talked about. We talked about a regular bank account. Did you get that set up?
The regular checking account.
Yeah, with a branch bank like Chase or US Bank or somebody like that.
Yeah, so I was going
Somebody that
through.
supports online banking so that we can reconcile your account online and that kind of thing.
Yeah, so I was going through, or I'm going through First Bank at the time, but I can't remember if we talked about figuring something out, because I know you mentioned a few different people I should go talk to, but
I'm not wild about First Bank because I had to close some accounts. I had some open accounts there I was going to do some real estate business with, but they kept charging me a fee.
yeah,
And they said that they weren't going to charge me a fee, and they kept charging me a fee. And just based on principle, I don't allow people to charge me fees. And so they
yeah,
reversed it. Then they did it, and then they reversed it again. Oh, your account was set up wrong. And I said, look, I bill my time out at $6.50 an hour. And if I have to call you guys up once a month and wait on hold to have you reverse these fees, I can't do business with you guys.
yeah.
2 months later, there's a $5 fee. So I went in, I closed all the accounts, and then I was done with First Bank.
Yeah.
So do you have a First Bank account?
So I do. I have. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but I know. So because I got it when I was 16, I believe 16 or 17. So it was a student account, and so there
Okay.
were no fees, no interest, no anything like that, just because it's a standard checking savings account.
Okay.
But yeah, so in the year and a half, 2 years I've had it, I haven't had a fee or anything or paid anything like that.
All right. Well, I want you to just keep a close eye on that account.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's a segregation of money that happens as we go along. We might have different relationships with different banking institutions.
Okay.
So that later, if one of these banks pisses you off, you'll just go over to the other bank and say, hey, look, I'm going to be doing more business with you now because
Yeah.
here's what these people did to me. And so, I'm going to pull back out of there and I'm going to do business with these other people. So, and we'll get, and one of the things that I like to tell people, especially in these coaching sessions that we're doing, is I expect you to retain 30 or 40% of the things that I'm saying. That's why I record the sessions. We can go back and rewatch them, and things come up and it's just too much,
Yeah.
because we'll talk about how Zelle works and how sorry about that. This
All
is
good.
Mrs. Hope. So you don't ever pause Mrs. Hope.
Oh, you get.
And you got to remember that with Gabriella.
I'm learning.
That's good. No,
That's one
good.
of the 30% I have to remember.
Yeah, she's a neat girl. And that's one of the best things that you can do for yourself in life is pick your spouse correctly. And if you end up with a really good one, like what you have and what I have and your dad has, life is a lot easier, So anyways, your bank account is going to be tied going forward to the products like Zelle. Are you familiar with Zelle?
Yeah, I use it. I'm not sure if there's any other features, but if I have to send money to any of my buddies or to my parents, or they have to send it to me or whatnot. Yeah, I've used it before. So
good. So like if you're collecting, let's say that you're doing a side gig job or you're doing some kind of buying or selling, or like in my case, I have rental properties and my customers and the rental company can send me money on Zelle.
yeah.
And that is attached to one bank via your email and your cell phone number as a marker.
Okay.
So right now, if I send you Zelle to your email address or your phone, it's going to go to that First Bank account.
Okay.
Later, if you want it to go to a different account, you have to switch.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, so it
Okay.
only stands for one at a time.
Yep.
All right.
So, right now I want to keep that relationship going with First Bank.
Okay.
Not that it's my favorite necessarily, but I like that it's set up. Later, there's a lady named Gwen who works for Wells Fargo. And the thing that we're going to do is we'll introduce you to her. And she helps me with a lot of young up and coming entrepreneurs and wealth builders, forming a lifelong relationship with your banker.
Okay.
And that's a good thing for you to have, because you may want to incorporate a small business. You may want to set up business accounts. You may want to set up lines of credit. And Gwen is a very, very good ambassador for Wells Fargo for us to go in and visit with her and, help us navigate some of that stuff. So for later, the next bank account that we'll open up, hopefully will be over at Wells Fargo, and we'll get some free banking education from Gwen. And everything in life is about relationships.
Yeah.
Make good relationships. Make sure that you have a good reputation as a good guy who does what he says he's going to do. And, that's going to pay off lifelong. I had a closing on a piece of real estate that almost derailed yesterday. And long story short, and I'm not going to give anybody's details away, but since I was really good friends with somebody higher up in an organization, I made a phone call and said, hey, can we get an exception for these people? They're really nice. They're teachers at Heritage High School and they're good people. Can we, do something else for them? And just because of my personal reputation and my relationship, an exception was made for these kids and they're going to close. So it's very important for you to build and nurture those relationships. They're going to be way more important than any money that you ever earn.
Yeah.
Because your lifetime, all of your money is going to come from relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mentioned that I bill my time at $6.50 an hour.
Yeah.
How much am I charging you? Zero.
Well,
Zero.
I appreciate that.
Well, the reason that I'm doing that is because of my relationship with your folks and the stuff that they've done for my kids, grandkids, all that kind of thing. So I'm very interested in donating my time to the Cody project, especially since you reached out to me. And I love, young guys like you that are hustling. And, when you're the next Steve Jobs, I'm going to be like, hey, I knew that kid. I'll probably say it from heaven, but if you really fast track, maybe I'll get to say it while I'm in the nursing home. But I'm very excited to be involved with somebody like you, and you're doing a great job proactively slogging through all this stuff. And I know some of it is kind of boring, but you're doing a nice job. So we got our bank account set up. Did we link our Betterment account our bank account?
I believe I did, but then that was kind of at the point where we stopped and we hadn't gotten into the whole putting in money into certain things and whatnot.
Okay, I'm recording this and then I'm going to upload it to my YouTube channel. So you'll be able to go back and go through some steps and just kind of figure out as you rewatch it. Okay. The next time we meet. But I want you to set up a draft from one of your accounts to a Betterment project. And I want you to have it, do a certain amount of a draw, like for instance, let's say, I want you to set up a project that is, $500 test. And then you let the software take over and say, I want to save $500 by, next year.
Okay.
Put a date out there. And it's going to say, okay, every month you're going to have to, transfer $12 into your Betterment account. And then the robot will start investing that. And you'll say, do you want conservative or aggressive? What do you want for your investment? Okay. Risk tolerance. And I want you to set it at the highest possible risk that we can have because you're young and we're playing with it. But I want you to do that homework assignment. And the next time we talk, I want you to tell me, how that got set up. And what that's designed to do is it's designed to show you an efficient way to pay yourself first.
Okay.
Every month, 25 bucks or 12 bucks or 100 bucks or whatever is going to come out of your account into your Betterment account. And that's going to start growing on the side for you.
Okay.
And it's going to give you an idea of saying, hey, look, I don't need this money. I'm going to take care of myself first, and then I'm going to have this money that I want. And later on we'll set up different ones like a car account. I want to save up $40,000 and buy a car in 3 years. Then what amount do I have to put away?
All right.
And the thing that you're going to do for yourself with that is a lot of people get a loan on a ar and they're behind the 8 ball because they're paying interest. And then by the time they pay the car off, it has a shortened life left, or they just stop paying and they're not ready for the next transaction. So if you have to get a loan for a car, after we pay it off, we drive the wheels off of that thing, but we keep making the car payment to our Betterment account or whatever device you use. But it's like, hey, here's $400 a month car payment that I'm paying to myself now for car number 2, not the shysters at the car place where they're charging me the interest. I'm going to give the interest to myself, and I'm going to get the new upgraded stereo for the difference or whatever it is.
All right.
So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any questions on anything I'm talking about so far?
No, just kind of the only thing I would really ask is, would you go more, since we are going aggressive on the monthly thing, would you put like more money towards it, or would you put less money in?
I want you to take $500 or $1,000 goal and let Betterment save that up and achieve that goal. I want you to learn how to do that. And then, with that smaller amount of money, and also, I guess I'll say right now, this is not financial advice. This is personal life coaching from me. I'm just telling you things that I do. I'm not a registered financial guy. And I have to say the disclaimer about, I'm not that guy. But I'm telling you the things that I would do if I was you.
All right.
But I want you to learn by doing.
Okay.
And I think the last list of on your homework that we had was for you to make an appointment with Charles Schwab.
Okay.
Did we talk about that?
Yeah, we talked about that one. I still have yet to get it done because just kind of ran into a few things. I went on one trip, about to go on another. So my plan is, once I get back, set up a meeting at some point and go in.
And I think I have a name for somebody over there.
Okay.
He's a good guy that you can talk to, but anybody can help you. If you just go into that Lincoln and I-25 campus for Charles Schwab, just go in and tell them, hey, look, I'm a young guy and I had an old guy tell me that I need to start investing my money. I want to have somebody from Schwab tell me, what I need to get set up and get some things going. I think you could probably start off a Schwab One account for $100.
Okay.
But later you might want to have a 401k, an IRA, a Roth IRA, some different things that you might want to do if you don't have a company sponsored plan.
Okay.
To save for your future. But I want you to get that going, because every dollar that we put in here when you're young,
yeah,
I mean, I think that the equation that they talk about is, if you put $200 away a month for the next 10 years and you stop putting money in there, that when you turn 65, it'll be $1 million
okay,
for just 10 years of $200 a month.
yeah,
And we know you're going to do a lot more than that. But, I want to make sure that if we're fruitful and you're hearing what I'm saying, take advantage of your youth. It is so powerful. It is so powerful that you get in those habits, and then you're going to be way ahead of your contemporaries. So let's get to Schwab when we get a chance.
Okay.
And great job on the bank account. Great job on the Betterment account. Get that going.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you wanted to talk to me about, or you feel like you're good?
The only thing I just had one kind of like, I guess it's more of like a what would you do? So like I'm obviously gonna put money into certain things, and since like I'm working, I'll be getting money to put into the investing and all that. But if I have like a little bit of extra money, like would you put it into something that takes a little bit of manual work that could possibly get you some more money, like say buying a vending machine or something and putting it somewhere?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing that I want to do, and again, we're not going to remember everything,
Yeah.
but one of the lessons for us to learn is there's things that create income, and then there's activities that create wealth. So especially at your age, we're working our day job and we're doing our side hustles, but we want to make sure that we separate all of our eggs into different baskets, and that we constantly have a flow of income coming in, and we take that income and then we set that in a place that is going to be passively creating wealth while we sleep. And the more assets that we can buy from our income or our sweat and our toil, to buy income producing assets, then later on in life, we'll sit back like Big Papa and not do anything if we don't want to. So yes, as a matter of fact, and I will tell you this much, I am a Cody Baker fan, and I love what you're doing. If you find a business that you want to run on the side and do whatever, I will invest in that business with you. I'll put money in it. I'll put resources in it. My marketing company will back you, make you a website. We'll start email drip campaigns and marketing with the idea of, hey, let's get Cody with his, power washing business started until we can hire a kid that does the power washing, and then you become the manager, and now we've got that other form of income coming in. And yes, for sure, I love working a day job, putting money away for retirement, getting the company match, doing something on the side. I think everybody in the world within the sound of my ears should be working a regular job and a side job.
Oh,
because that keeps your mind active and alive. And one of the things that you're really doing for yourself now is you're turning saving money, investing money, and making money into a game.
yep.
And if you're having fun, it's like you were talking about, you do all these games online with Twitch and your friends and all that kind of stuff. Well, if we could take some of that energy and make saving money and building wealth and building our future into a game that we like to win, man, you've got the world beat for sure. So yes, and the next time we meet, let's talk about some ideas that you might have.
Okay.
And I'll think of some ideas too to present you and see what we think.
All right.
But no, I'm so proud of you, and I really appreciate it. And everyone needs to know, if I'm coaching somebody young like you, I do not chase them.
Yeah.
You called me.
Yeah, I came to you.
And you keep calling me, and you're the one that keeps bugging me for the session. I'm not calling you. Am I calling you?
Nope.
So anybody that needs help has to ask, and they have to hustle and advocate for themselves, which you're doing.
I mean, it's easy.
Well, for some, but you're doing a great job, Cody, and I really appreciate you. Love to your folks. And I'm going to be in Denver next week.
All right, perfect.
So I would love to get together with your folks or your family or whatever, and go see one of your hockey games or whatever's going on.
Perfect.
But let's kind of cut it off here. And when do you want to meet again?
So I'll be up in Keystone throughout the weekend. I'm not exactly sure when we get back, but when I find out about that, I'll let you know. And then I'll keep listening to the podcast, and because I've gotten
And
through about
you're listening to,
primarily the Dave Ramsey one.
okay,
I think I've gotten through 10 or 15 of them.
good. Ramsey's a
So
good starting place.
yeah,
Um, Listen to
sorry.
a couple of those Millionaire Unveiled
Yeah, I was gonna switch over to
guys,
that one.
because they talk to millionaires who made it
Okay.
and how they allocate their wealth, where they put it. A lot of it's real estate, a lot of it's stock market,
Yeah.
but you're going to be them in short order.
Okay.
So, start to listen to a couple of those guys when you're
All right.
driving around your car or whatever. But let's just say, why don't we try to have you call me and we'll set something up for like February 10th on
Okay.
Thursday. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
And up or down, we'll put it in pencil.
Okay.
All right, man. I appreciate you.
Well, thank you, sir.
Keep going.
You too.
Bye.